Hello and welcome, I'm Dante.
And I'm Kurs.
From Low Manor, today it's time for episode 2 of Skin Deep, the series looking into the skins of Overwatch, how they fit into the game, and the real world inspiration for each. Today we're looking into the history of two of Widowmaker's skins, Odette and Odile, designed by Roman Kenney, Polidora and David Kang.
Whereas last time we brought you a skin lifted straight out of poetry in the form of Reaper's Nevermore, this time out we're delving into the world of ballet. Odette is the lead female role in one of the world's most famous ballets, Swan Lake, and takes the form of a white swan, as demonstrated very clearly in the skin design. Widowmaker is a world-class assassin, and at a glance has no obvious links to swans or ballet. But stay with us here, as there's a good reason for the connection, although we'll admit it's not apparent on the surface. There have been multiple interpretations of Swan Lake in the 140 years or so since its creation by Tchaikovsky back in 1876, but various themes remain relatively true throughout every version. If we start by looking at who the White Swan is and what she represents. In many versions she is a queen, cursed along with her friends by the evil magician von Rothbart, to by day be trapped in the form of a swan, only able to take human form at night. The only way to break the curse, as always in tales of this nature, is for Odette to find and marry her true love, typically the character of Siegfried, the prince and lead male role of the ballet. As you may be wondering, this doesn't sound much like Widow. You'd be correct. This is much closer to a representation of the woman she used to be, Amelie. Before Widowmaker was even a concept on Talon's drawing board, she was the wife of Gerard Lacroix, not a member of Overwatch herself, but a friend to them through her husband, even known to the core Overwatch team as shown in the Anna comic Legacy. Unlike her friends, as far as we know, she wasn't trained in any combat role. In fact, we know little to nothing about her at this point. This actually works very well with the White Swan. Amelie was innocent, and as her backstory shows, she was clearly vulnerable, to the eventual detriment of many. Where von Rothbart ensorcelled Odette, Talon trapped and brainwashed Amelie, the link becoming even more apparent in many versions of Swan Lake, where von Rothbart also takes the form of an owl. Where von Rothbart does not always have a motive stated for his actions, Talon's were clear: to use Amelie to succeed where other assassination plans had failed, and kill Gerard. Again, in some versions this meshes with von Rothbart's own success, that sees both Odette and Siegfried die, whether alone or together, and what we can be certain of is that in the Overwatch universe, both Gerard and Amelie are no more.
The white colouring of Odette's skin finds its counterpart in the form of the black coloured Odile, and just as Odette seems to align with the once innocent and manipulated Amelie, so too does Odile find a match with the woman Amelie became, Widowmaker. As we've stated several times already, versions differ. In some, Odile is a creation of von Rothbart, in others she is his daughter. But in all of them she is made to look like Odette in every conceivable way. This is to entice and beguile Siegfried, who at this point in the ballet has already fallen in love with the real Odette, in order to destroy both the White Swan and the man she loves. This is almost the perfect parallel with Widowmaker. Taken by Talon as Amelie, returned as a dark counterpart of herself in order to destroy the man she loved. There are takes on the ballet that have von Rothbart succeeding utterly with this plan, though these are not overly common. But in this instance, it would seem that Talon were as successful as it was possible to be. In Overwatch terms, not only were the White Swan and her prince destroyed, but the Black Swan Odile now lives on to do their bidding. Unlike with Nevermore and Plague Doctor, Odette in name also has potential connotations with another real-world story. While this doesn't fit well with the design of the skin, the story certainly chimes with that of Widowmaker and may have served as inspiration at some level for Blizzard. Odette is also the name of a 1950s film about a French-born woman, known as both Odette Sansom and Odette Churchill. Odette, like Amelie, was born in France and married a man who would go on to join the army at the start of World War II. While Amelie was captured as far as we know from the safety of her own home, however, Odette took a much longer path to captivity. Beginning with a simple postcard sent to the War Office in error, she soon found herself recruited by the British Special Operations Executive, enrolled in First Aid Nursing Yeomanry as cover, and began her training as a spy to join the French resistance. Like Amelie, she was eventually captured and found herself imprisoned at Fresnes Prison. Here she was interrogated by the Gestapo and tortured 14 times, and this is where their stories differ. Where Amelie became an agent for her captors, Odette's resolve held firm, and prevented her from disclosing any secrets. Once the war was over, she became the first living woman to receive the Victoria Cross, solidifying her status as a real-world hero. Perhaps in this, she stands as an example of what Amelie could have been, instead of the cold and calculating weapon of death she has become.
Thanks for watching this episode of Skin Deep. What did you think of Widowmaker and her connection to Swan Lake? Is the link to the film Odette a coincidence of names, or a subtle nod to a war veteran? Next up, all being well, should be Mercy and her Valkyrie and Sigrid skins. But let us know if you have any requests. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, and if you want to see more, hit subscribe and the little bell that goes with it. Until next time, I've been Kers.
And I've been Dantier. Thanks for watching.